You've tried ADHD hacks you saw online and they never seem to work, and then you go and get a new planner every other week but fill out like 2 pages before you forget it exists. You're probably feeling pretty frustrated with your ADHD. But I'm here to tell you that it is not hopeless, and ADHD coaching might be exactly what you need. I'm sure you've heard about ADHD coaching as it's all over the internet right now, but hardly anyone actually tells you what it is. So this video is going to be doing exactly that. Before we dive in, I'm Zoe. I own New Bloom ADHD Coaching. I am a ADCA trained ADHD coach, and I work with anyone but mostly young adults and post-secondary, so like university and college students who are struggling with their ADHD. I also share tons of free tips and strategies and information on my website, blog, on Substack, and on social media under the username ADHD with Zoe, so you can check those out if you're interested. So before I really get into what it is, I'm just going to clear up some things that it is not. The biggest thing is that ADHD coaching is not therapy, and they are 2 different things. They have their own lanes and they should stay in their own lanes. In ADHD coaching, it's very future action oriented. You're not going to be processing the past or things that have happened to you or anything like that. The other thing is that you're not going to be told what to do. A good coach shouldn't necessarily be giving you advice, and they shouldn't be pushing you in any specific direction. It's very personalized and about understanding you and your strengths and also your challenges, but I think it should be really strengths forward and focused and action oriented. ADHD coaching goes way beyond just prescribing you with generic ADHD hacks. It is very personalized in understanding your life and working through things together. Along the way, you'll also get a better understanding of ADHD in general and how it shows up and impacts you, and just to help you build self-compassion for yourself, because that's also really important. Okay, now what actually is ADHD coaching? I like to describe it as bridging the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. So much what I hear from clients is that they have these things that they need to do and they know what to do, but they just can't get themselves to do it for a variety of reasons. I see coaching as often bridging that gap. I believe that you are the expert in your own life. Of course, you are the one living it. So it's really you in the driver's seat and just a collaborative process of helping you explore things. It's way beyond just prescribing generic ADHD hacks. It's understanding your life and figuring out what is truly going to work for you. What are the strategies? And then also just the structure of coaching naturally provides a bit of external accountability, which is really helpful for people with ADHD. It's built around your real life, not what you think your life should be or what other people think your life should be. And it is completely judgment-free. So however things are for you, that's just how they are, and there is not going to be any judgment coming from me. Now, that's sort of what it is, like the vibes. Now I'm going to kind of walk you through a very general outline of a session to hopefully give you a better idea of how this would play out. So I usually like to start off a session by celebrating a win from the previous week or 2, which is just anything that you feel good about. It can be super tiny, but I think that this just helps start us off on a strengths focused foot, but also they can give us a lot of insight into what's going well for you, like what's working, and then we can draw from that when we're brainstorming your strategies later in the session or even down the line. Then we will look at what it is that you're bringing to coaching today. What do you want to focus on? What is the biggest challenge? Maybe there is something coming up or happening right now that you want to focus on. And we'll kind of dig into maybe what's worked for you in the past. If we've been working together a little bit, I might be able to help prompt your memory and remembering some of those things, maybe diving into some wins that you've shared in the past. And depending on what it is, I might also have some information or perspective to share with you. And from there, we will co-create whatever it is you would like to walk away with. So whether that's an action plan or some kind of tool or strategy, we will be sort of thinking partners in coming up with that. And then the end of the session is always figuring out your accountability plan. So basically, how do we know that you're actually going to do what we have planned that you're gonna do? And this is, again, very personalized for whatever is gonna work for you. And I also say I don't give homework, I just leave experiments. To me, that makes it feel a lot less pressure. It's more flexible. If we talked about doing something and then you didn't do it, that's not failure, that's just information. You can talk about what got in the way, like why didn't you do it, but genuinely curious, not blaming, because if you didn't do it, then it's just not the right strategy for you. Who is ADHD coaching for? Despite the name, it actually can be for quite a lot of people, even those who don't have ADHD. So to work with me, you do not need a diagnosis of any kind. You can still be in that curious, exploring phase. You don't even necessarily have to think you have ADHD at all. If you resonate with a lot of the struggles that people with ADHD experience, you could totally benefit from ADHD coaching. A few examples of people who might reach out for ADHD coaching: a student who's really struggling to keep up with the workload, a young adult that is overwhelmed with the transition to independent life, somebody who is newly diagnosed and kind of just super overwhelmed about all the information. Or maybe you've known that you have ADHD for a while, but you're kind of just getting sick and tired of feeling stuck. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to know that you want things in your life to be different and feel ready to take that next step. I think therapy and ADHD coaching go really well together, so to be in them at the same time. You don't necessarily have to. However, you do have to be in a well or stable enough mental place that you can be future focused and oriented. You might be thinking, why do I need an ADHD coach? I can just use all the free stuff online, which is true, and a lot of people do that. But if you are watching this and you're curious about ADHD coaching, there's probably something missing with the self-help stuff, because it's all generic, which is great, but it's not specific to you. There's a lot of trial and error involved, and that gets really exhausting and can also help to fuel the shame cycles that we often experience of, why isn't this working? They said it was going to help with ADHD and it's not working. So ultimately it can play into supporting negative stories that we have about ourselves. And another big piece is just the external accountability of it all, having somewhere to show up every week or every couple of weeks and talk about what you want to be doing, and knowing that somebody else out there knows what you want to be doing. Depends on the coach, but I also offer to send check-ins to my clients if they would like that. So sort of having your own personal cheerleader who is there for you, knows what you want to be doing, and is supporting you completely judgment-free is just so valuable. The self-compassion and understanding component of it is also just so extremely important. When people come to coaching, a lot of the times they have this narrative that they just need to try harder, they just need to be more disciplined. I'm just gonna say right now, that is not the way. You have tried bullying yourself and it is not working. So being in ADHD coaching and truly getting to know your brain a bit better can really help to develop some of that self-compassion. So I hope that this clears up what ADHD coaching is and what a session might look like. If you are interested in working together in ADHD coaching, I offer a free 20-minute discovery call, which is basically just a chance for us to meet and chat and kind of learn about where you are, where you want to be, what's going on for you. It's no commitment, it's really chill, just cozy chat. So if you're interested in booking that, I'll put the link in the description. As I mentioned, I also have my blog and my social media, and I also have a Discord called the Focus Garden, which is for ADHDers, and we've got body doubling, we have resources, we have chat, there's a lot going on in there. So all the links will be in the description. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one thing that you should go start but haven't gotten to yet? And I will see you in the next one. Bye.